and run up.
Dear! Good ball for Roberto Carlos. Popped into the penalty area towards Zidane.
Nani.
Rooney! Oh, wonderful!
Manchester City are still alive here. Balotelli, Aguero!
Morning. I don't know what I shouted that. Morning, everybody. Savva here from Football Heritage TV. I did have a kind of intro planned where I was going to say, hey, it's D-Day. Hey, Harry Kane, the conversations are happening today. And then you get through this. I don't know if anyone's seen it. I haven't had time to get it onto my screen yet. This was just sent through, but this is from Jan Arga Fjortov. Remember him? And I remember Jan Arga Fjortov banging in goals for, Swindon when they came up. I want to say 93, 94. Jesus, I'm getting old. I'm getting bald. I'm getting old. Let's have a look. This is what apparently has been said. The Harry Kane, the German press have been talking about the Bayern bosses Levy meeting today. Private jet was booked for today at 10 in Munich. Cancelled last night in order to confuse. Deal off. Kane just wants peace on his birthday. To be continued. Good morning, all. You got to laugh, haven't you? Like, you know, when you go past the point, like, first of all, I apologise. Yesterday, I was a bit aggy. Yesterday, I was in one of them moods. I was a bit aggy. Today, I'm not. I don't apologise to the trolls, but I apologise to the people who are always good to me, who always watch my shows and who always smash that like button. Let's not play the game. 272 of you in here already, which is absolutely nuts. We've just started. Smash the like button. Please stop me having to ask. We've had a few subscribers since yesterday, since I was told by, who was it who told me yesterday that my show wasn't growing. I've had over 60 subscribers over the last 12 hours. So thank you very much to those people. I really do appreciate it. So please keep subscribing. This is where we are at the moment. This is where we are. We're trying to get to at least 7,900, which is 19 in the next hour and 45 minutes. We'll be joined by Brian Daigle at 11 a.m., which is always good fun. The leader of the ENIC Out Brigade, should we say. Phil P is in the chat. Let's see who's in the chat, shall we? Let's see who's in the chat. I won't be able to go through everyone because we're getting to the stage now where there's so many people. Nordic Spurs said, hope you got most of the frustration out yesterday. Yeah, I went to PT last night. And my PT, I've known him for 20 years or so, 22 years, but he's an Arsenal fan. So it was like, he's like, how you getting on? How's the channel? I'm like, yeah, I think it's going well. And he's like, you a good club yet? And I'm like, shut up, like, and he's like, right, okay, get down, 20 press ups. Like, yeah, it's baffled me lately, Nordic. I'll be really honest. I genuinely believed by now more and more fans would have come to that realization that these owners just don't care. But hey, each to their own. More and more people are still refusing to acknowledge that it's the owners and that this is how we run. They're hanging on to that dear hope. That hope died for me a long time ago. Morning, Bill. Big up to you, my friend. Look, what a strike partnership that is in your thumbnail. Kane and Berbatov, who were sold last time we did something like this with a centre forward. So it seems our fans want Kane to play against Shakhtar as a send-off. Did Benzema get... listen, I don't care about all that. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't care about all that. If he's going, just get rid of him. I don't care. We're too sentimental about everyone and anything. I don't know what that means, but hello, Tom Taylor. There I am. Good morning, Football Heritage TV. AB15 saying what we boys and girls saying, end of an era. Yeah, an era that yielded no trophies. Just saying. Just saying. Big up, Alan. Hope you're well, my friend. If you want to come on, Alan, with Daigle at 11, let me know. I'll send you the link. Don't know what people's work schedules are like. George said we criticise our club. Do Munich have a plan B? I reckon they'll have a plan B. I think it's not a bad plan A, though, is it, Harry Kane? I think if that ever gets to the point where it's dead in the water, I think then you'll see them move for another striker very quickly. They've got money. They'll make it happen. AB has said pop bottom. Bleh, bleh, bleh. Didn't say any of that. Bayern propaganda is actually world class. The way they went about this and pressuring Tottenham is a masterstroke. Yeah, don't worry. We just prod. We just go to Wolfsburg and go, what about 12 million and a can of baked beans for Van der Ven? Big up Kate, just a girl who loves Spurs. Oh, how long until that word love changes to just a girl who used to love Spurs? Big up Savva, looking forward to another great show. We'll try our best. We'll get into the Harry Kane stuff in a minute. Red Dan has said, I'm not ready for that. Here we go. Got Marvin's room at the ready. I'm ready for it. If we're talking about the here we go for Kane, I'm ready for it at some point. I almost want it to happen now so we can move on with our lives. It's just an ordeal that I don't think the club needs at all. I truly believe that. Stewie has said, is the season over yet? Last season's over. Don't worry, you've got a new one coming just in a couple of weeks. 16 days until we start our season. 16 days. All those new defenders are going to be playing. Melvin, big up Melvin, has said, I bet as soon as Harry goes, we win cups. Stranger things have happened. Wouldn't it be funny if Harry Kane goes to Bayern Munich and in year one we win the FA Cup or League Cup? I mean, you can't write it. Well, you can, but Anne has said, Melvin, you're in dreamland. Listen, that's all we've got as Spurs fans, isn't it? Dreamland. Prasanth. Yeah. The single parent theory, big up to you. I said, big up, Savva. Guten Morgen. Now, I don't know a lot of German, but I do know that's good morning. I did German I know no one asked. I did German at school for the last 2 years. You know, where it's mandatory that they make you do a language. I remember having to watch a film all in German. That's my memory of German classes. Anyone remember The Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan? Anyone remember that film? I had to watch that in German. It was just like, what are we doing here? Anyway, rubbish story about my school. Good morning to you. Always a big supporter of the channel. Thank you so much. And really do appreciate it. Off the back of that, Paul Connor has said, my bit towards a new centre-back. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Paul. Really appreciated. I can assure you, if I was in charge of Tottenham scouting, if I was in charge of Tottenham's recruitment, there would be centre-backs. I would be scouting all over the world and getting in some good players. I would want some sort of Brighton setup, if I'm brutally honest. But thank you very much. Appreciated. Mr. P has become a channel member. Big up to you, Mr. P. Thank you very much for becoming a channel member. As I said, from August, which is just around the corner, literally just around the corner now, I will be doing channel member only shows. And channel member only phone-in shows. By the way, talking about phone-in shows, there is going to be an hour phone-in show today between 4 and 5, where what we're going to do is slightly different style. I'm not going to have 8 or 9 people at once. What we're going to do is we'll have people waiting in the back. They come on, we have a discussion for a few minutes, then they leave. That will be at 4 till 5 today. 4 to 5 today. I think it's important that everyone gets their voice heard. And what that does as well is it allows all those trolls who say, let me come on and bury you in an argument, Savva. Cool. There you go. There's your chance. One-on-one. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. That's how I ended up getting married. That was my proposal. It wasn't. If I ever tell anyone how I proposed to my wife, you'll all laugh. Nana Hotspur, big up. Big supporter of the channel. Said, I want the Kane mess sorted today. Is it really Kane's birthday? Enough of our birthdays have been ruined by this year after year. Yeah, I don't care if it's Kane's birthday. They ruin every one of our days, Tottenham Hotspur. Get this guy gone. He doesn't want to be here. Let's get the money. Let's build a squad. Let's move on. Thank you to everyone for the super chats. George has said, great channel, Savva. Thank you very much, George. That is much appreciated. I really do appreciate all the love, all the support. There's 358 of you in here at the moment and rising. Only 102 likes. People, come on. You know the drill. Smash the likes. It's the way that YouTubers get support and help. It's free. Who else we got in the chat? HodGod10, big up to you. Stewie Spurs, big up to you. Jez Giles is in the chat. I think Bayern will pull a Levy and low ball. I reckon 85 million is the sweet spot. I think that's a good price. Big up to Paul Hancock, who became a channel member yesterday. Hope you're well. Absolutely. Just drop a like on the way in. There's Dan G. Big up to you, Dan. Hayden said, actually really hoping this deal goes through today. I'm done. Hayden, I'm going to burst your bubble. You know it's never going to go through that quickly. Hey, hopefully I'm wrong. Maybe it is. I think, isn't it strange? We've got to that point now where I think fans at the beginning of the window would have been very much, no, he can't go. This is terrible. To, yeah, actually, we've seen the way we're going to play. He doesn't want to be here. Let's move on. Big up to Wayne. Big up to Carl. Yeah, we still know centre backs. Big up to DJ Green Alert. Tao. Yeah, you're talking about the young striker Tao. Yeah, could be a shout. Walter Boberg is in the house. Bobby Andrews is in the house. Love the massive sunglasses, Bobby. Do you know what? I never wear sunglasses when I'm abroad, and it's probably why I get these kind of crow's feet going on all there. Yeah, never mind. Who else we got in the chat? Balpinder's in the chat. Good morning to you. Good morning to Mr. P, who just became a channel member as well. Good morning to you. Good morning, Phil P, has said this week in isolation could cause any rational person to want ENIC out. Criminality at the top of the shop. No centre-backs anywhere near close to signing. Time to wake up. Agreed. Kate Rixham has said, big up to DJ Green Alert. Big up to both of them. Tom THFC, happy Friday to you. You're not the Tom who called me out, are you? No, I think you're a different Tom. Right. Apparently it's kind of, I mean, listen, that's what Jan Arga Fjortov said. Hang on 1 second. Sorry, I just had to explain what I meant to Brian. Don't know if it's cancelled. That's what Jan Arga Fjortov said. The EastEnders of the transfer window, yeah, we all know how it's going to end with someone dying on Christmas Day in the EastEnders characters. I'm a season to get hold of. It's your fault, Phil. just kidding, Phil. That loves Savva and hates ENIC. I love Savva and hate ENIC as well. Good morning to Danny. Hope you're well. Nice picture, Dan. Yes, I said Kane is staying because Levy won't sell. There's that way of looking at it. Listen, I genuinely feel at the moment it's 50-50. What percentages would you give it? The first percentage you're going to give me is that he's going. The second percentage he's staying. I'm going 50-50. I know that's sitting on the fence. I know I'm going to get splinters in my backside. But I've said all along, I don't think I've flipped on this. I've said all along, I truly believe if the right money is put down, he goes. If it doesn't get put down, he doesn't go. I think he wants to go, though. But, hey, Nick has said, glad to see you're better today, Football Heritage TV. You were proper moody yesterday. I just can't deal with idiots. I've never been able to, Nick, in my life. It's something I've always had to work on. I can't, I just can't understand idiots. I really, really can't. Hang on, the wife has messaged me. I've always got to send back. Hang on, we'll do shortly. Love you. Yeah, there we go. That'll be keep her happy for a bit. I just can't tolerate idiots, Nick. I find it really difficult how anyone watches this club for this many years and still thinks that people that want better and hate ENIC and Levy are negative. I just can't do it. Aidan O'Brien is in the house. Big up to you. I'd never want him to leave, but I truly believe our rebuild could begin once Kane goes. Could be a blessing. But then nothing's a blessing with ENIC and Levy. What I would say is, as I've said many times to people, we've been through this before and come out the other side better. Now, do you come out the other side better in day one? No, but you do come out the other side better, right? You do. I've seen Sheringham go, Waddle, Hoddle, Gaza, Lineker, Carrick, Bale, Modric, Keane, Berbatov. We're going to survive. We're going to survive, and we can start building. That's it. If the fans wanted to say goodbye, they should stick around for the lap of appreciation in the last season. Everyone was pissed off. Granted, we were our gash. Absolutely. Big up as well to Shane O'Neill with a super chat who has said, isn't it mad that just listing out what is going on at the club each day is called negative? Doesn't that just show that the club itself is negative? I think the key thing is, right, people have to understand, of course, that people like me are going to repeat it and be more vocal than others. I have a YouTube channel. So, of course, it's going to be out there, right? So it will seem negative. One thing that I always do, I do it whenever people have a go at me in the chat. I always say to them, cool, all right, debate the point. So when people say to me, oh, you're so negative, I'm unsubscribing. Okay, tell me why I'm negative. Tell me the positives. Tell me the yin to my yang. If I'm saying that the club is run badly and our transfer window is poor, now sit there and explain to me why it's good. Then we've got a middle ground to have a debate. But what people do is they just go, you're negative. It's like, okay, cool, but why am I negative? Am I negative, or am I just pointing out some harsh truths that Spurs fans don't want to hear? James has said, did we all just forget that we're supposed to be getting a director of football? Yeah, the one thing I would say about that is Postecoglou's never played with a director of football. Could that be their thinking? By the way, thank you. More people are subscribing today. Thank you very much. It's really, really nice. We're only 10 away now from 7,900. So I really do appreciate those people that have smashed that subscribe button. Please smash the like button. Only 135. There's 435 of you in here. That means 300 people haven't liked. Just smash the like. It really does wonders. It's like, it's how I grow. It's how people get to hear about it and join in with us. Flanagan has said, and of course, Lindsay Lohan speaking German is the reason you are where you are, Savva. Well done. Absolutely. I've got a lot to... I just didn't understand it. Does anyone remember the film? Anyone remember the Parent Trap film, like where Lindsay Lohan has a... I don't know. Doesn't she have a twin sister that she finds... They didn't know they had a twin sister each. And then they meet up and then they decide to swap lives. And I think one lives in a poor place, one lives in a real affluent place, I think. And then I don't know. God, why am I talking about the Parent Trap? Apologies. God, what's happened to Lindsay Lohan? Anyway, we move on. Beyond 72 said we talk about it for 20 minutes and then we decide I was right. Brian Clough. Is that Brian Cloughy? Is that Brian Clough? I think it is. Big up. There's 438 of you in here. Big up to every single one of you. Hope you're well. It's Friday. Friday means you can have a beer. Friday means beer day. Do you know what my one worry is? I know this sounds really sad, right? I feel this. I think what makes me laugh is I always, if I go to the pub tonight, I'll go to the pub about 6 o'clock. I always think, please don't drop Spurs news while I'm at the pub because I want to stream. So I'll be at the pub going, please don't drop. And then the next morning I'm like, come on, drop. I'm very picky and choosy about when Spurs drop their news. But being a Spurs fan, let's be fair, right? The 3 bits of news that have dropped this window. Right, James Maddison happened when I was on holiday. So did Vicario. And the first news dropped about Manuel Solomon when I was on a night out on a Sunday. I said night out, I was just at a bar locally to me, and I did a video. It never happens when I'm here, ready to go, hey, we've just signed. Do you know what I mean? That's life. Bobby Andrews said, lads, since I've handed my notice in at work, I've been put on gardening leave this month. I've got bang into this. I'm now addicted. Problem is I start my new job next Tuesday. What am I going to do? Bobby, well, listen, first of all, sorry to hear that you lost your job. Well done on getting your new job. Listen, just put it on in the background and have your earbuds in or work from home or something, my man. There's always a way around it. I smashed the light. Now my mouse is broken. Hey, listen, you've got this. You've got this. Francis Crizzle said, Savva, do you think Spurs will use some of the Kane money on a striker, not just on new defenders? Yeah, listen, there's money there, right? I think there is money there. And then when you add the Kane money to it, I do feel like I think we could get a couple of defenders and then a young forward. I think when people keep talking about let's go and get a Mawani, I think we'd be sensible about this. I think we build, let's get bodies in, right? Let's ship some bodies out. Let's get some bodies in. For example, I'd definitely take that Jimenez of Feyenoord, who won't be 80, 90 million. I'd definitely take a chance on that guy and blood him into the team. PJ Berlin, big up Savva, big up to you as well, my friend. On the super chat front, where are we? Donna Cullen's in the house. Donna Cullen is in the house. Donna, come on. Talk to the balls, get your wallets out. Let's buy some players. I said, I woke up to see Mr. Savva. What a lovely morning. Donna, I only hope that I never wake up next to you. That's all I'm going to say. But thank you very much for the super chat. And then right behind her is Joe Lewis, fresh from the prison. He's not in prison, is he? He's not in prison. Mr. Savva, any ideas how I can be saved? I don't know, but before you go in prison, can you just give a couple of 100 million to the club to buy some defenders? That's all we ask from you, Big Joe. Good luck with it all. And you've been a naughty boy. Single parent theory is coming as well and said when Chris Callan comes out on TalkSport and starts questioning, potting the establishment, you know we're in the brown smelly stuff. Yeah, but this guy's backed this poor ownership for years and years and years. And he will never say it as it is. I'm not talking about him all day, though. It is what it is. Maybe we can all go and watch some videos of him eating scorpions, because that's apparently what it's for. Meow, Savva, meow. Joe Ferguson said, morning, Savva. Hope you're well. Look at Spurs Express latest tweet. Okay, let's look at Spurs Express latest tweet. 1 second. Spurs Express, Twitter. Let's have a look. This better be worth it. This better be worth it. Let's have a look. Where are we? Is it any good? Where? I can't see anything. I don't know if I'm being stupid. I can't see anything. Their last tweet was 8 hours ago, right? Their last tweet was 8 hours ago that said Bayern Munich are increasingly confident of sealing a deal to sign Harry Kane from Tottenham. Is that the one you're on about? Or am I missing something? Let's see what Tottenham Hotspur official have put out in the last 23 minutes. Something about zookeeping. Brilliant. Buy some defenders. And let's see if Fabrizio Romano said anything about Spurs this morning. Has he put anything out this morning? 1 second. Let's have a look. Has he put anything out? No. Fabinho deal's completed. Inter and Bayern have scheduled new round of talks for Jan Sommer. That'll be a good signing for Inter Milan. He's not a bad keeper, him. Edison Cavani is leaving Valencia and looks like he's going to Boca Juniors. Juventus are confident of completing Facundo Gonzalez, good player from Valencia. Nothing about Spurs. Icardi will travel to Istanbul later today to join Galatasaray. Rasmus Højlund wants Man United. Nothing about Spurs. I can't find anything of any note, Joe. Apologies if I've missed it. Joseph Lewis has come back and said, Mr. Savva, can you help me ask Miss Mia to be my press secretary and defend me in this case? I've heard she is solid and great in debates and shows. I'll speak with Mia for you. I'll see what we can do. Thank you, Big Joe Lewis. Thank you very much. People, keep smashing that like button. 479 of you in the house, only 170 likes. Smash that like button, people, to be guaranteed for a comment to be read out. Put it in a super chat. Please like, please subscribe. We're now only 7 away from the 7,900. So if 10 people that haven't subscribed would be so kind to smash that subscribe button, I'd be internally grateful. I agree. This is the problem. Most of us content creators that are called negative tend to be right. The ones who just say nice things have big followings because they don't offend people. I get it. It's cool. I understand it. It's probably why I'll never be as big as others. So it is what it is. Oh, here's Mark again saying you just accept the positives. I'm waiting. I asked you yesterday, Mark, and you didn't respond. I'll ask nicely again now. Give me the positives. What's different this window to any of the last windows? What's different this year at the club to any of the last years? Why should I be positive beyond normal? Why should I be more positive than normal? I'm just asking. I'm just waiting for an answer that no one seems to give. I vaguely remember it. It's not like I watch it every night. Mate, how could his wife be in Munich? Isn't she pregnant, like to the point where she's not allowed to fly pregnant? I don't know. Just asking for a friend. So if situations in life are overall bad, is it good to gloss it over? If you're in a war zone, oh, it's good. We're getting shot at, building, bombed, people destitute and homeless, but it's wicked. Listen, I just think honesty's gone out the window. Like, I'll tell you, do you know what I do? I don't know if anyone else does this. It's really bad for you, by the way, and I shouldn't do this. Every night when I go to bed, my missus, she drops off to sleep within seconds. Like she's seconds. The dogs are on the floor in their dog basket in the corner of the room. They're snoring. She's asleep. I scroll through like TikTok and stuff. And And I watch a lot of these things that keep coming up about like all these gender stuff and all this identifying stuff and all this woke stuff and people not wanting to work and get a free ride in life. And I just think to myself, all these people are so offended by anything that's said to them. They're so offended. Somebody tells them the truth and they go, oh, but that's your opinion. No, it's the truth. It's the truth. Just because you feel something doesn't mean it's not the truth. And I'm very much in that camp. I always have been. I look shattered. That's not nice to hear. I've just woken up. I've had a shower. I feel fresh. Okay. Wow, that's the best compliment I've had. Yeah, just too many people that want everyone to be really nice to them. Please be nice to me. It is what it is. It is what it is. Reno, THFC, big up to you. I said, for me, Savva, sell Kane for £85 million, slap 50 million on Tony. They have him fit for January when he's ready. Sign 2 quality centre-backs to number 6. Manuel Solomon, Charleston and Son should be good enough till Jan. Do you know what? I'm going to disagree with you respectfully here, Reno. I don't think Tony's the right profile for an Ange Postecoglou system. I think he wants quicker, more mobile players. I truly believe that. I don't think he wants that profile of player. I might be wrong. We'll see. I just don't think that profile is the one. But respectfully. Tyree said, I feel the Levy apologists have a difficult time separating their own ego and the club. The truth hurts, but these positive fans use confirmation bias to reinforce their beliefs. Listen, everyone's got an opinion. I get that. But what I do find is a lot of people that say the positive reinforcement can't back it up with anything. So what they'll do is they'll say things like, but remember the 90s, right? I remember the 90s when there was more of a togetherness at the club and we won trophies. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's like they don't really have concrete evidence. I know, I love this, oh, you're glass half empty, I'm glass half full. I don't buy into any of that nonsense. Yeah, when you look at the Spurs situation, I don't believe it's a half empty, half full situation. I believe that Spurs are always consistently in that middle. Spurs are always consistently doing the same thing badly. Hey, it is what it is. I'm a gooner and hate Tottenham, but even most of us can see your club's issues are Levy. How come most of your fans can't? One day, we'll keep spreading that message. New message. Pavard with Kane deal. I'd take Pavard at centre-half. Let's be fair. What we've got, you definitely take Pavard at centre-half. I can't see any news from anywhere, though, that's coming in suggesting that. Let me know where you saw it, and I'll bring it up. So far, all we've got today is going is that the Yanaga Bjortov. Yeah, the Yanaga Bjortov. Big up, Josh. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, saying the flight was cancelled. I mean, it's just mental. Nana has said, buy some defenders at the zoo. Problem solved. Bobby, yeah. I mean, again, this rumour started circulating again. I would listen. Ibanez is better than what we've got. I would bring him in. I just want them to. If you're going to identify centre halves, just go and get to right. Every other club does it. We just can't. Where are we? Yeah, lots of people are now saying this. Lots of people are talking about the Pavard being chucked in. Where are we seeing this, people? Yeah, the Bayern flight cancelled. Danny has said, Savva, drop this for me, please, mate. This is my page. I'm building, looking to go record, then start going live very soon. Thanks. At Life's a Pitch, Chat Spurs 13. People, get over there. Have a look at this. Is this a YouTube channel, Dan? Is this on YouTube? Where are people finding this? Let us know. We can pitch it. Take the money for Kane and move on. Ben Kaufman in the house. Big up to the number one moderator, the gold star moderator. Yeah. No, and more. No, he can't run. Just saying, he can't run. If I was a centre half, I would love to play against Decky at centre forward. I feel like he can't get past you. He's got no legs. Just saying. Unpopular opinion. And I said, even if we get a centre back, we still have a problem. Romero will have no time to gel and connect with him. As per usual, we will fall apart. I agree. And I agree, mate. We haven't always agreed in life, but I agree. This is why it was so important to get the centre backs in before we travelled. So to give them time to gel. Let them be roommates or whatever. I don't care. Tie their legs together in a three-legged race. Get the centre-half pairing in. Here's one. Exactly, guys. When we have some positive news, I'm sure Savva will sit there excited and relay positive news. Absolutely. When the Madison news came in, I was well happy. I just can't relay fake positivity. I can't. If I was being let go at work, for example, Bobby, I'm sure when you had the unfortunate news, you weren't like, oh, this is great. It's like, oh, okay, this isn't good. But hey, it is what it is. Ibarra, a Spurs fan from Mexico, said, a Spurs fan from Mexico, and lately I've been questioning whether I made the right choice supporting Spurs, who didn't have a choice on what club support, ignore problems that are too hard to accept. Ibarra, yeah, some of us didn't have a choice. It is what it is. Right, okay, could someone tell me, I keep seeing this, where is this, please? I'd like to know. If you'd like to identify as a unicorn, like Eric Dyer identifies as a centre half. It's like we're all allowed to identify with what we want. Yeah, Daniel, how mad is this? One of the players left behind in pre-season surely was to sell him, and he hasn't even gone. Imagine the ending the window with Madders, Vicario, and Solomon in, and Winks and Kane out. I mean, it's shocking. Only Harry Winks has been sold. Surely pray to whatever the football gods are, whoever they are, that we can start selling some players very, very soon. Smash the like button, people. Very tight in here today. 200 likes, 499 of you in here. One more person to make it 500 people in the house. And keep subscribing. If 5 of you haven't, just go over there and subscribe. That's the nice thing to do, isn't it? Just subscribe. Where are we? Sorry, got loads of comments. Gunner CK identifies as broccoli. Cool. You do your thing, I'll do mine. And people are very scared of the truth. Spurs fans are truly scared. Honestly, we did a thing last night on Henry's channel about Bentancur. And honestly, anyone would think that I'd said Bentancur was rubbish because I said he's a very good player, but I'm not. I don't think I've seen enough to call him class or quality and everyone went mad at me. And it's like, oh my God, just relax. Like it's absolutely mad. C to the fourth, Football Heritage TV. True. The same person will say Kane should go because he doesn't suit, but then get Tony as he's most like Kane. Yeah, I don't think that style of player suits the system. I think if you look at what Ange normally has, he has very quick forwards that get about all over the front line. Big up Mike Raz said, great stream as always. Hit the like button, people. Absolutely. Hit the like button. Smash the subscribe. Let's get to, listen, if I could get to 8K by the end of today, it'd be amazing. I set a plan. I said to myself that I think it was like 2.5, 3K in 1 year. And I actually did 5K. And since then, we've nearly done, we've nearly done 1,000. I hit 7K on the 10th of July. So hopefully by the 20th, if I can do 1,000 in 20 days, I'll be well happy with that, people. I'll be really, really happy with that. Yeah, there is a lot of delusional positivity. Everyone keep right. Can you stop putting this in if you're not going to put a link? I get it. Yeah, I do find it a bit strange. Hear me out. Richarlison was Kane's replacement. League plan this. We won't sign another striker. Listen, if Ange gets the best out of Richarlison and gets 15 goals from him and gets 15 from Sonny and 12 from Maddison, 5 or 6 from Solomon, 4 or 5 from Porro, 4 or 5 from Adoji, some from Basuma, I've got no problem with that. As long as behind that you're buying a younger striker as well, like who can play in multiple positions across the line. Please, can we stop spreading news in the chat about footballers that haven't passed away and saying RIP to them? Please, that is definitely not where I want this channel to be in any way, shape or form. We've got to grow up a little bit. Looks like the Saudis are coming in now for managers, doesn't it? Have you seen in the last few... in the news, sorry, it's coming out there. They're after a lot of the managers in Europe now. They'll get them. Fair play, though, to Marco Silva for turning it down. Who cares? We need more than one centre-back, mate. We can't just buy a left centre-back. We need more than one. We need more than one. I agree. Ange, I'm happy with Ange. None of my discontent at this club is aimed at Ange. If Kessie was that good, he would have been purchased by now. Barcelona have tried to move him on for ages. Yeah, but David, you could apply that to every player. Couldn't you say if Kane was that good, he would have been moved on by now? Couldn't you say if Amrabat was that good by now? If that would have been moved on by now. Slightly false economy, that one. Like, I get it, but it's not strictly true. Just a girl who loves Spurs said no to Ibanez. He's too hot-headed. And Romero be constantly sent off. We keep saying he'd be sent off. Hasn't Ibanez got like one red card in the last 4 years or 5 years? Don't know where this comes from, but okay, all right. I don't think he will. We'll see. I don't think he will. Thank you. 25 people have just joined the show. I don't know where they've come from, but big up to you. Thank you. Please smash the like. We are 5 subscribers away now from 7,900. Who's going to be so nice to subscribe? Let me know when you have so I can thank you as well. I think it's really important. Right. Harvey, last chance. Last chance, Harvey. I will block you. This is weird behavior, my friend. Stop. I don't know if you're drunk or what. Stop. This is really weird behavior. Ben has got you on his radar already, and we will block you. I don't want any nonsense coming to this channel, please. Marius. Keep it real, Savva. Big up. I have really good laugh about some comments. It looks like some people live in another planet. Listen, it's cool. It is what it is. Donna Cullen has said, Mr. Savva, you will one day wait next to me. Love. Well, that's worrying, isn't it? I don't know if that's a threat or a promise. Yeah, I'm going to get the locks changed on my front door. Don Arsenal TV. Big up to you. I said Thierry Henry, Van Persie all left Arsenal to go win the Premier League and the Champions League. Does Kane not want all that as well? I think I've been one of them saying that for a long time. I agree. You'd want to go and win stuff, right? Jim, big up to you. Good morning, mate. Morning, Savva, my fellow Spurs fans. Listen, nudge that Kate and tell her that Ibanez is better than what we've got. Howard Vale says, Spurs Web, Bayern's flight has been cancelled. We'll take another flight at short notice. Yeah, listen, this is why I'm not reading too much into that, because just because one flight was cancelled doesn't mean another one won't happen. Thank you to the 2 people that just subscribed. 3 more people do. We've reached 7,900 and it's absolutely madness. We're flying. Thank you so much. Ignore those people who said we're not growing. We are. Yeah, get over and subscribe. If you give me the link, if you put the link in the chat, Dan, people can click on the link. If you put the link in, they'll be able to click on the link. Help a brother out. Okay, fair enough. Okay, I got the wrong end of the story. Daniel has said, Ibanez is good, super athletic, makes a boneheaded mistake every 5 games or so, but that's not too bad if we're scoring a lot. Yeah, as opposed to our defenders who make a boneheaded mistake every game, right? So, yeah, I agree with you. Sean Butler did a video on this. Which one? Which video? On Ibanez. Kuva's I think Kuva's moving house, I think, at the moment. So I think he's got a lot going on. But Kuva's always welcome. Kuva knows that. He's just got to message me. Pavard's Tottenham. Oh, right. Hansi, where I've not seen this anywhere. Is anyone else seeing this? This guy keeps putting it in the chat. Donna, weird behavior. Sean mentioned the Pavard story yesterday. Oh, okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Good day to you, Shane, as well. Good day to you. 3 subscribers away from 7,900. Come on, people. Just smash it. Be nice and easy, wouldn't it? Far out, Savva. We need some outgoings. Sell Kane and all the deadwood. We need centre-backs, right-back, DM, another winger. There's a lot to do. A lot to do. 16 days until our first game. We play our first game 2 weeks Sunday. It's crazy. Jim, it's a question, Savva. What centre-backs do you think are incoming? And do you think it all depends on if Kane goes? I think we'll get centre-backs if Kane stays. I just think there'll be really bad ones like Longley. Unless something becomes available, unless they've got a trick up their sleeve. But it's been disappointing, hasn't it? Maybe they'll go back in and get Van der Ven. I don't know. I'm just so bored of it now. Even if they sign Van der Ven now, it's just like, how long do you need to get it done, you know? Cold, hard facts are scary for the clappers. Oh, they are indeed. They are indeed. But notice that when those people tell me I'm negative, DJ, and I say to them, cool, here's the link. Come on, we'll talk. We'll have a debate. None of them want to. And then one of them went on to Henry's show last night and put, oh, Savva was too scared to debate me. And it's like, mate, you had the link. But hey, Teddy Sheringham has told Spurs to go and sign a Harry Maguire. Oh, listen, I love Teddy Sheringham. But if he said that, wow, that's a bad take. And again, what that would show is that Teddy Sheringham hasn't recognised the style of football that Postecoglou plays. You can't play a high line and then want Harry Maguire as one of your centre-halves. You just can't do it. Please bear with me. Wow, got thirsty this morning. I can't believe someone said I look tired or drained or something. I was all right. Hey, it is what it is. Big up, Ultras Kenny. I hope you have a great weekend as well, my man. Tony said you must have missed my messages yesterday, Sav. Pavard and 86 million is reported in the Express. Yeah, listen, I've seen the report. It's just, I thought something new had broken today. I've seen the report, Tony. I mean, listen, again, it starts all its questions. Would Pavard come to Spurs? What are we going to do? Bring Pavard in? Is he going to be right back? Is he going to play centre half? Are we going to play a back four, but maybe like how City do with 3 and 1 inverted? A lot to be seen. Zara said, Savva, Ibanez, no for me. Rather Tapsoba. Listen, Zara, I think everyone would like Tapsoba, but Spurs won't pay for him. So it is what it is, my friend. Ulfric with his man love for Harry Kane. Big up to Harry Kane. Happy birthday. Ahmed has said, respect to you, Savva, you know ball. Always enjoy your morning chats. Thank you, Ahmed. Big up to you as well, my friend. He's not slower than Longley. I've seen him play. He is definitely not slower than Longley. Yeah, Tequila 316 said, better check your stove, Savva. There may be a boiling rabbit in there, thanks to Mrs. Cullen. Yeah, it's worrying. No, because Spurs are not trying to move Kane on. So your argument against doesn't hold water. I'm on about clubs who want to move players on, but nobody is coming in for them. No, because Spurs are not trying to move Kane on. But yeah, but okay. But so we're saying every club that has a player they want to let go, yeah, that they can't be that good if they've not gone yet. So that means any player signed by a club who want to let them go between now and the end of the window can't be very good. It just doesn't make sense. Spurs will let Kane go if they get the right money. I would take Frank Kessie. I would take Kessie. I don't think we realise how bad our squad is before we keep belittling. Before we keep doing this, we keep belittling these players and look. And then we look at our own squad. Where are we? Ibanez, huge no. He's an improvement, but no. Okay, all right. I'll take him all day long over what we've got. I mean, I'm looking. I don't know how people watch Rodon, Sanchez, Tanganga, Dyer, and don't think Ibanez is a huge improvement. I just don't get it, but I don't understand that. Sam has said, thank you that this channel is open to all fans. You're more than welcome. Everyone's allowed in here. When's the shirt giveaway? There's no shirt giveaway today. I would do it if we got to, we wouldn't. I'd do it if we got to 8K today, I would give away a shirt, but we're 102 away from that happening. So I can't see that happening at all. If we got to 102, I would give away a Spurs shirt of your choice and the name on the back, but I just can't see it happening. There's the offer. What are your thoughts on Richarlison being our number one striker? Listen, I just don't know. I mean, could he get the best out of him? If you play Richarlison, are you then saying that you're going to have... Listen, first and foremost, I think whoever comes in, whether it's Richarlison, a new striker, look, they're not going to get 30 goals like Harry Kane. You're going to have to look at a different way of playing, more goals being chipped in from everywhere. So I think we need to get that out of our minds, that whoever it is replacing Kane, more that person is fitting into the new system. We're now 1 subscriber away from 7,900. Smash that subscribe button. It's nice and easy. Someone said, how can you subscribe? Ben, big up, mate. If you could put the link in the chat, that'd be much appreciated, my man. Peter, big up to you, mate. Hope you're well. Always remember, if you need anything, just shout. Said Savva, it's in the Express. I think about Pavard. Yeah, I've seen loads of reports, but I haven't seen anything new today. I'm just refreshing. They haven't said anything for 9 hours or so. So I'm just trying to see if there's anything new. Let's see if Fabrizio has said anything in the last 20 minutes or so. I don't think he has. He has. Fulham are now optimistic to get Callum Hudson-Odoi deal done in the next few days, as personal terms are close to being agreed. Negotiations with Chelsea continue. Silva's decision to stay was key for Hudson-Odoi to return in talks with Fulham. I tell you what, I think that's a good signing for Fulham. I think Hudson-Odoi is a decent player. I think that's a good signing for them. Bobby Andrews said, Savva, scrap the pub tonight and do another shirt giveaway. I will sink a few for you instead. Oh, listen, after this week, I need a couple of beers. I think we get the idea, Zosper. All right, I think we get it that you think Tapsoba's better than Ibanez. I think most people would agree. I think most people are coming to the realization that it doesn't look like this is happening. Ultras Kenny has said, Savva, a question. If Spurs will struggle and have a bad place in the table to Christmas time and pressure will come on Ange, why are the same fans not putting pressure on leaving the board? This is what makes me laugh. I don't know why. Listen, people will say I'm a hypocrite because I didn't like Conte, but what I didn't like about Conte was his style. I never blamed him for not winning leagues or cups. I just didn't like his style. But yes, this is a great point. Terry O'Shea said, much love for you, for your show, Savva. You talk the most sense from all the channels. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Terry. Yeah, yesterday I was a bit moody, so apologies if anyone got me on that day. But yeah, where are we? We are 258 likes, people, and 554 of you in here. Come on, guys. That is 300 people that have not liked. Just smash that like button. And if 100 of you went and pressed the subscribe button, we'll give away a shirt. But I'm not doing it cheaply these days. We'll give away a shirt of your choice, Spurs, Arsenal, whoever. But we need to get to 8,000. And just to show you where we are there. 7899. If we refresh that, has it gone? Has it? No. Boo. Let's move on. Lemon Song said, Ledley is still part of the club, getting to put the boots on again. He can't be worse. Jessica said 65 million and Gravenbach and Pavard for Kane. I'm all over that. If we took Gravenbach, Pavard and 65 million and bought in a couple of defenders, I think we're good and we're set to go. Good idea, Jessica. Can we do it? Will we do it? Are those players going to want to come? I think there's a lot of interest in Gravenbach. You know, the fact that Pavard was linked with City as well. Thank you very much. We've now hit the 7,900. Thank you very much. Listen, I'm only joking. We will do a shirt giveaway if we get another 100. But are there 100 people in here that haven't subscribed? We'll see. We'll see what we can do. Big up, Robert. So, morning, Savva. I think the Kane deal might be done by this weekend. All I know is Daniel Levy's a bugger. Is he going to get it done this quickly? I'm not so sure. DJ Green Alert has said, hi, Kate Rixham. Big up to Kate Rixham and DJ Green Alert. Listen, it's a tough game out there. Whoa, easy. Whoa, easy, DJ. Listen, I'll block you. I don't mind. There's no need for that. Tigaro, the single parent theory, has said it's been said over and over again. This system requires a 9 to hang around the byline and create space for mids like Madison score, feed them. Harry is not that player. I think there is a lot to that. If you actually watch how Ange's system works, that there's a lot to that. Yeah, it is what it is. Bobby has said, Savva, scrap the pub tonight. Do another shirt giveaway. I'll happily sink a few. No. Sub to Perchy if you can. Really good guy. Good guy. Good content as well. DJ Evo said, Pavard is a winner. Not going to Spurs. Kate has said, don't start me, Savva. He is better, but he's also prone to reckless challenges, which will be jumped on more in the Premier League. I always hear this. They'll be jumped on more in the Premier League. I think the defending in Italy is 10 times what it is in the Premier League. I feel like we've bigged this league up to this ridiculous point. When I watch teams in Italy defend, they defend as a unit. I'm going to disagree with you on this one, Kate. Sorry. I think Ibanez is a massive improvement on what we've got. Massive improvement. Our defenders are championship level. This guy's just got to 2 European finals in a row. Playing in a Jose system. So I know who I'll either have. Ramos for our number 9, especially he can play 10 in rotation with Mads, allowing Richie Son up front. Ramos who? Gonzalo Ramos? Is that who you're talking about? Must be. Age must be getting to Teddy. You do not want, you don't, Maguire. Listen, Maguire, I think, not in a bad way. And I said this the other day, speaking to my West Ham mates, I think if ever a club, a manager, and a player fit together like a glove, it's Harry Maguire, West Ham, and David Moyes. That's the formation I think he should be playing in. That sort of football. You can't play a high line and then not want and then want Harry Maguire. Big up to Brian Daigle was in the house. Brian, how you doing, mate?
I'm doing good, sir, with everything apart from Tottenham. But when it comes to Tottenham, I'm using the saying now, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah, listen, it is what it is. We'll try and do this with a smile on our face this morning. It is. Do you read, just quickly, sorry, Kirtan has said, would I take Smalling? Do you know what? For where we are right now, yes. Look, do I think Chris Smalling's the best centre-half in the world? No. When I watch Roma, does he put his heart on the line? Does he win every header? Does he throw his body in front of the ball? Yes. Does he make horrendous mistakes every 30 seconds? No. I would take Chris Smalling. That's how far we've gone. Brian, lots of talk, obviously gravitates. Does navigates work? Navigates its way. It navigates and gravitates towards centre-backs naturally.
Yep.
Clutching at straws here. My English teacher would have had a hissy fit of me. We've got fans though saying things like they wouldn't want Ibanez of Roma, right? Yep. I mean, I'm not saying Ibanez is the be-all and end-all, but
the way I'm looking at this now is we need bodies in. We need bodies in. I think we've seen right now, whether you want to look at this, I'm trying to do like you said with a smile on my face. If you look at it, whether we're talking about it through an owner perspective, whether we look at it who we're actually capable of attracting, as we saw yesterday, we can't get the defenders in that we want, or we've delayed and whatever. We just need defenders. And you mentioned Chris Smalling. He would never have been on my list of players to say come in. If you gave me a list of 100 players in centre backs, I don't think, in all honesty, being hit seriously, that I put Chris Smalling on the list.
Of course.
But when you look at it right now, does he know the Premiership inside out? Yes. Is he very experienced? Yes. Does he improve what we've got? Yes. This is the pool we were swimming in compared to the pool we are swimming in now are two very, very different swimming pools.
Right. And it seems as well, Brian, that it's no longer about the pool we're swimming in. It's the pool we're willing to actually fish out of. Right. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I get it, right? I am with most people in this chat. I've watched Tapsoba a lot. I like Tapsoba. I think he's a top centre half. Do I want Levy to go out tomorrow and go Tapsoba? Yes. Am I too long in the tooth? I call it as is. Am I old and ugly enough to realise that ain't happening? Jesus, my English teacher would kill me. That ain't happening. Jesus Christ, Savva. Here we go. Richard, speak properly. Am I old and ugly enough to know that isn't happening? Yes, I am. Right. I get it, right? For me, listen, I don't want Smalling. By the way, this isn't me. I'm not championing Smalling. I'm not saying go and get him. I do believe as well that Jose isn't an idiot. I don't think he'd let Smalling go. But if you can't get, I'll ask you this, if you can't get the likes of Tapsoba, would you be more inclined to maybe do something like, where is it? Like this, maybe a Bella Kotchap,
Yeah, I mean,
Mate, someone young from a club like Southampton, would you be more inclined to go down that route?
it's not even would I be inclined to go down that route. I think through whatever it may be, it's the route we're going down. You know, when
Yeah,
you're driving, and obviously I've never driven, but I've been in plenty of cars, and you miss a turning on the sat nav, and it starts redirecting the route to get you where you want to go. I think that's where we are right now. We want to go down that route of Tapsoba, Van der Ven, Tosin, and it's redirected us elsewhere
yeah,
because we wherever you are on this spectrum with the ownership, we've got to come to terms that we're not in the position we were in a few years ago, where we could have gone
sure,
down these roads and pursued them. And whether
sure.
we got them or not would have been down to the club, the board, the players, the agents, yada, yada, yada. I just don't think we can get those players anymore. We can put out stories that we can get them or we're going
Mhm.
for them. But when it push comes to shove, I just simply don't think we can do it. And do you know what? I love what you were saying yesterday. And I saw when you went on with Henry in this whole debate about Dunk. Dunk walks into this football club. Walks into this football club. Like you said, we've our fan base. If it's a player that isn't a big name, oh, he's shit, he's useless, he's this, he's that. If it goes to
Yeah,
another
yeah,
club, we've got to understand we are in such a we're not. I don't want to use that word. Let's just say we are rearranging how our club is because I don't
yeah,
want to say
yeah,
the actual word.
yeah. I
Because
like that rearranging.
we're rearranging once again. It's like when you're moving all your furniture about. That's what we're doing right now. We have to accept this, and the sooner we accept it, we don't have to like it, but the sooner we accept that we cannot attract these players, the better. We
Yeah,
have to come to terms with it.
yeah. Listen, it's absolutely. I completely agree with you. Listen, just quickly, I have got uh, where are we? Sorry.
Look at your sound effects.
Yeah, sorry.
Wonderful.
StreamYard's been terrible lately in terms of bringing up comments and super chats. Big up, Rooksy Pop, always been a big support of the channel. Big up to you. He's a Schalke fan, I believe. Big up to you, mate. Said this window for Spurs is exactly like last summer. Rooksy is exactly like the summer before and the summer before. The only summer it's not like is the summer where we didn't bother buying anyone. But this is a carbon eat, drink, repeat. Deje has said Conte's rant was correct, though. After he left, total landslide, conceded 23 goals, didn't like his style, but he had us on track without the backing for the defence. Listen, I agree. I just think the problem is once Conte said what he said, I'm not saying he was wrong in what he was saying at all, but I think the timing of when he said it killed the football club. I think once you say that, you've thrown the players under the bus with 10, 12 games to go, all the players switched off. And they're not that great anyway. So, look, that's for me. It happened. It is what it is. Paul Shepherd has become a channel member. Thank you so much, Paul. Much appreciated. Big up. We will be doing channel member-only shows from next week. So please keep a lookout for that. And Ben will put a link in the chat for anyone else that would like to be a channel member. By the way, I'm just going to give a first warning and a final warning to this guy. I saw him yesterday trolling me on Henry's chat. Luke Khan has said, Savva always twisting people's words and comments. Read the comments properly instead of putting words in people's mouths just so you can carry on your moaning. Luke, I don't need you here. This is your first and last warning, my friend, all right? I'm not going to mess about today with these trolls anymore. If you're an idiot, you will just be gone. I've not twisted anyone's words. I'm just having a debate. There's 594 people in here. 593 of them are behaving themselves. There's always one bad apple. That's you. So be nice, be a good apple, or we'll chop you up and throw you into someone's cider. I don't know where that came from. I don't know what's happened, mate. Brian, I think, look, it's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting one. By the way, Alpesh, we're 95 subs off of 8K. And I've said if we get there today, I don't think we will. So it's just a lot to ask. If we got to the 8K today, I will give away 2 Spurs shirts. If we get to the 8K, so that would need 95 people to subscribe, we will give away 2 football shirts. Real. Ask the people who win them. They do get them. Back to the football, Brian.
Yeah.
So all the noises coming out today were that Harry Kane, it's his birthday, happy birthday, blah, 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 well done, well done on being 30 years young, well done you. All the reports were that Daniel Levy was meeting in London with the delegate from Bayern Munich, and that there was a plane booked from 10 a.m. from Munich. They were coming over, and that they were going to thrash out some sort of deal. I'm sure it's not that simple. The plane was cancelled. The flight was cancelled, apparently, and then apparently there's going to be another one. What do you make of all this? Because this has been one big drama, hasn't it? Bayern saying everything they're saying. Yeah. Spurs not really saying a lot. What do you make of the goings on today?
Mate, all I will say, with this plane being cancelled, do you know how easy it is, and like what criminals do when they're trying to get out of the country and they book loads of flights and you think they're going there, but they're coming here, they're going there. Whether Bayern Munich are doing that and they're actually here and got a flight, whether they're coming by train, whatever they're doing, they're doing. This story or saga, whatever you want to label it as, has just been going and going and going and going and going. And you know what? We've had so many different publications, a lot of it being German, as we know, and then English media feeding off of it. The way I look at it, whether you like, I said it on Tottenham Tour earlier, whether you like it or not, or what he does or not, whether you don't like him or not, when Fabrizio Romano tweets it, there is serious clout behind his tweets. Yeah, he may get the odd thing wrong, but Fabrizio Romano is the one you go to for transfer news. Everyone does it. The here we go, obviously it's synonymous. This ain't going away. This is serious. Whether it has been cancelled, and just so people know it, you can have these meetings virtually. Don't even need to be in the country. Sure. So it's the story that's not going away, and it's just going to keep developing and developing. But I think there is some serious clout behind it, and I fully expect him to go. Don't want him to. Do not want him to, but I fully expect it.
Yeah. Listen, I for me, Brian, I think it's gone beyond whether I want him to stay or go. I think he's made that decision himself. I think everything about this window would suggest that he doesn't want to be at Tottenham anymore. People, all the top reporters saying that he doesn't want to sign a contract. The fact that, let's be fair, if he didn't want to join Bayern in any way, shape or form, this could have been squashed a month ago, couldn't it? Yeah. This whole thing could have been squashed a month ago. Yeah. Whether he wants to leave in general is different, but he could have come out a month ago and said, listen, me and my family, we've got no intention of going to Germany. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. But he didn't. And we move on. Are you at the stage now where if they were, look, it's Daniel Levy. I don't believe in any way, shape or form this gets wrapped up in one meeting. If they were to whack down £85 million sterling as a base with a couple of add-ons here or there, do you think at this stage now that what's best for Tottenham Hotspur is to let him go and then start trying to invest that in 3 or 4 younger players and actually build a squad?
Do you know where I am? And I'm going to use, I think the figure you've just said there, I'm going to use Daniel Levy's magic number, which is always the separator, 5 million. I think if that bid is 90 million.
Yeah.
I literally, I'm being serious now. I reckon 85 he says no to. 90 million in add-ons, he says yes to. Yeah. That's where I think we are. I think, obviously, we all say we want 100, and this is sterling, or 115 is that number. But the longer this goes on in the window, I think, like we have the countdowns that shows about to come on, I think that number starts going down. So I don't think 85 will do it plus add-ons. Mm-hmm. I think 90 plus add-ons.
Yeah.
And we might be getting, here we go.
Yeah. Absolutely. Just quickly before I respond to that, Paul Connor, channel member, has said, do you think we'll be sold after the window shuts and be done and dusted by next summer? And also, do you think Levy will sell a couple of big assets before selling? I'd love to think that the top sentence would be true. I just imagine it would drag out whatever it is. I don't know if we've got many big assets. I think that's the problem. I mean, if we're talking footballers, I think after Kane goes, I don't think there is a massive asset there. I don't think there is a player there that can command 100 million. I don't think there is. If I'm being brutally honest, I think a few years ago, Sonny would have been that guy. I look around. I don't think there is. I mean, Brian, what do you think there's big assets to sell other than assuming Kane's gone?
I would say Son, but I'm talking Son
commercially.
exactly. Mainly, that is he's bigger than Kane commercially. He dwarfs Kane commercially.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You could say whether, if you're looking at this, not whether we think it is or not. I think Romero is a big asset in world football. Not saying he's world, but he's one.
Yeah.
And then I think you're stretched. I really think for big assets, I think you're pushed.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're pushed.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Unless one of these young players comes through and, does what like the Brighton players do. They have great seasons and suddenly go from 20 million players to 85, 90 million players. Like Brighton turning down 80 million pounds yesterday for Caicedo, who they bought for 4 million 2 years ago. It's absolutely
it's insane, isn't it? Insane.
Crazy. Just going back on your point there, what you're saying about Kane, 80,
90 mil.
Yeah, the 90 mil. I think what is telling as well is if you look at what Bayern Munich have done so far this window, they've sold Hernandez to PSG for 45 million. I think this is all euros, by the way, for 45 million euros. They've sold Sabitzer to Dortmund for 20 million euros. Sadio Mane is currently in talks with, I believe it's Al Nassr.
Or
Forgive
one of them,
me, one of the Saudi Arabian clubs. They're talking about 35, 40 million euros there. Now, my maths has never been my strong point, but I believe that all works out to 100 million euros, right?
Mate, you look at it that way. The thing I'll add on top of that to put more petrol on this fire is obviously when Man City were, morning, Sean, mate. So when the Man City thing was coming along, we got told there's the price, reportedly 150 million, and he said nothing more, nothing less, bang, 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 and I won't entertain or listen.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have meetings with Bayern Munich if you're not trying to discuss.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's no, or if it's again, there's a number, hit it, piss off. Then where if we've had it that Daniel Levy said, right, here's the number. Don't come to me if it's not happening. Do not even pick up the phone. And that will be it. But the fact that and we know they've had meetings, they're not having meetings for the sake of it. There is talks to try and get to a number.
Yeah.
So I think what you said puts a huge amount of petrol on the fire. Then you add what I just said. And there is a lot to this. This is moving way too quick for my liking.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, Sean, if you did want to come on, just let me know. Misawati, big up to you. Let me know if I say your name right. I think I always get it wrong. So that Football Heritage TV, Medina from Lens, Satulo from Zagreb, Lakiba from Lyon, Milenkovic from Fiorentina, Inacio from Sporting, and 100 more. Why is this junk of a club not going in for any of them? I think this is the worry. We talk about the players we're always linked with, but there are so many good defenders across Europe if you scout them. There are so many. And this is what the other clubs seem to get right, which is truly frustrating. But, I mean, I've also, by the way, someone's just said how many subscribers for a shirt. As I said, I'll do a double shirt giveaway if we get to the 8K. But we're a long way off the 8K at the moment. If we can see that, so I can never get this straight in my camera. There it is, 7,908. So if we can get that to 8K, I will give away 2 shirts. But it's up to the chat. If people don't want to do it, we won't do it. It's absolutely fine. What I will do is I will put something in the chat. I'll put hashtag. What should we do? Hashtag Daigle again. I liked that.
Hashtag that up. Okay. Inflate my ego. Let's do it.
I like that. Hashtag Daigle. So if you do, listen, I don't think we'll get another 92 subscribers. I'm not silly enough. But if you do type in hashtag Daigle, and if we get 92 subscribers in the next 45 minutes, then you will get a shirt of your choice. Nice and simple. There you go. I'll put the first one in, see if I win again. Hashtag Daigle. I can't believe when I won. The one that won the other day, I had to send to Texas. I had to send the shirt to Texas. Unbelievable. blah blah blah. Where are we? There's so many comments. So apologies. I'm just trying to catch up a little bit, Brian.
No worries, buddy.
Some people saying the Son is just about done. I think I think the difficulty that I think players like Son are going to have now, Brian, is for the last 4 years we've exploited Son's ability for pace on the counter attack. I think that's not how Postecoglou's teams play. So it's going to be really interesting to see, is he effective in a more keep ball possession style pressing team versus a reactive counter-attacking team? What do you make of the whole Son thing? Because it's a big year for him after last year, right?
Well, I think with Son, what we've got to do this year is what I kind of hoped we'd done last year. Obviously, we didn't know how Richarlison was going to be last season, and we didn't know he was not going to set the place on fire, so to speak. Is if we want to keep Son or get back to the Son that we had and we love, we need to rotate him and keep him fresh. We need to not have him just if you fit, you play, you fit, you play, you fit, you play. There's now Solomon. There's other players. Kulusevski can come onto the left and use his left foot. Perisic, if he's still here. So there are options of rotation. There are so he doesn't get burnt out or he doesn't pick up these injuries. And if he does pick up the injury, we don't have to play him all season without having surgery.
Yeah.
So I think with Son, we all know there's an absolutely fantastic and wonderful player in that man. He's a incredible player. He's been an incredible servant. He's done wonderful things at Tottenham, giving us wonderful moments. But we have to use him properly. We have to, and that's not just him. That's the whole squad. But with Son, to get the best out of him, I think we're really going to have to manage him this season. Because like you said, he looked, all right, it was only the Lions or the Sailors, whatever you want to call it. He didn't look his best. It was his first game. It was his first game, wasn't it? He had his first run out. It wasn't exactly the game to set the world alight.
Yeah.
But you could see he was not up to terms with everyone else. In fact, of game minutes and everything. So we'll have to see. But I think Son needs to be managed correctly this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Just quickly, Wolves Finland, as big up to you, Wolves Finland, always a big supporter. Said Poch and Chelsea surprise many next season. If City slips, they could even win the league. I stand behind that prediction until proven wrong. I agree with the first half of your prediction. I do think already watching Chelsea in pre-season, they look like they've got a style. They look fitter. They're pressing. They created so many chances the other night against Newcastle. And I like the look of Nico Jackson as well. He looks interesting. Do I think that they're going to win the league? Do I think City could slip? I don't quite think so, Wolves Finland. City the other day against Bayern Munich started where they left off from winning the treble. They're a machine. Brian, any chance of Chelsea winning the league?
Yeah, listen, I don't think so. But how ironic would it be that Poch goes to Chelsea in the first year? I mean, that would just be the most Spursy thing. Yeah. Like when we got to the Champions, when we were in fourth in the Champions League, and Chelsea were in the final, and Chelsea had to lose that for us to be in Champions League. What did Chelsea do? They go and do that. What I will say that I mean, I watched the highlights of the Brighton game. And it was a wonderful game of football, the highlights that I saw. Mudryk scored a banger, and Mudryk was getting booed. Absolutely. And you could see, like we've seen the change in Ange Ball from Conte and Stellini and Mason.
Yeah. You could see that.
You got to remember, Spurs fans are going to see the Pochettino blueprint before Chelsea fans even see it. And you could see there that they're all right. So, again, a pre-season friendly, but I think Chelsea will be. People are saying, they won't be up. Chelsea will be up there this season. We all know.
The worry for me about Chelsea, by the way, someone said, I've just been to Essex at the weekend and it's dull, miserable. Why does it always look sunny? It's not. What it is, I'm sitting right next to, you can see my shutters, right? So you can see the shutters here. So it doesn't matter if it's sunny or not. Any light naturally comes onto my screen. So it's okay out there. It's nice enough that I'll go to the pub later and have a beer. Sorry, Brian, I know you don't drink, but you know.
That's fine, mate. That's fine,
I like
mate.
A beer. The Chelsea one's interesting. I think the worry for me with Chelsea, and the reason I think it's important to talk about Chelsea is I think they're going to be in and around where we are if we get our act together. If not, I think they'll be well above us. I think the worry for me is that Chelsea We've seen them do this before. In a week, the space of 2 weeks, can go out and go boom, boom, boom on 3 players. We've seen them do it.
Yep.
Chelsea will not go into the season with this team. Chelsea will get, they'll get Caicedo over the line. I know they're playing the game 80 million, 85. They'll get Caicedo over the line and he'll go midfield with Hernandez. By the way, has anyone seen that kid that plays for Chelsea? Is it Cassidy? The 20-year-old central midfielder who was on loan at Reading last year. Watch him, then watch Ollie Skip. Then you've got your levels of footballer. I think they'll be fine, Chelsea, to round off that person's question. I think they'll be okay. A couple of questions. Let's go through some of these, Brian. John Puska has become a channel member. Thank you so much. A lot of channel members today. I did just put the link in for anyone that wants to become one. Much appreciated. Thank you for your support, John. We will be doing channel member only shows from August, which is 4 days away, I believe. 3 days away.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crept up very, very quickly. So thank you to that. Ty Garo, the single parent theory. Thank you so much. I said, apart from centre backs, I'd love Sangari as a big 6. Absolutely. And that leads on, I suppose. We'll continue that. Thank you so much for the super chat into Perchy's question, who didn't want a super chat because he's tight, but said, big up, lads. Great show. If we say 90 million quid is agreed, how would either of you spend it and why? Sounds like blind date. Question to number 1. Go on, Brian. How would you spend it and why?
Well, I have to say, with you saying about blind date, I have to say, when you're talking about your blinds, all I could hear through my head, you'll remember this game show, or if you call it game show, do you remember Through the Keyhole?
Yeah, mate, great show. Yeah.
It's like all I had is you doing a Savva Through the Keyhole. Who could live in a house like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all I will say, Perchy, and I think I said this on your show as well, any money we get in, I want to spend on centre-backs. We need to. It's all right, you can go get another striker, you can do this, and you can do. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who we bring in. If we don't bring in these centre-backs, with the way Ange plays, it's going to be like Yossi Ardiles days, where you score 4, we score 5. And you can't do it all the time. You can't do it. And unless we sort these centre-backs out, it's you're just neglecting the key area again. Will we? Highly doubt it. But that it's worrying, Perchy, as well, when everyone's chat that obviously it's looking like right now we're waiting for Kane money to spend. That's what it looks like. We're back.
Unfortunately, you're right. Unfortunately, you are right, Brian.
You're looking at Savva as well, with all the events that go on at the entertainment arena and bring money in. That was going to go back into the club. We're looking like once again we need, and we need to buy to sell in the terms of the squad is just heavily bloated. But why are we the only club that sell to buy rather than get the guy in and then get the others out? So 90 million, I would spend every single penny of it on centre backs, and the reason why, like I said, because if we don't fix it, anything we do is pointless.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, just quickly, Jay Ranson, stop overhyping. I don't think anyone's overhyped them. I literally just said I think that they're going to be near where we are if we sort ourselves out. I literally just said I don't think they're going to be anywhere near a title challenge. I do think they'll get back into Europe, though. I'm not sure. You know, when you say something as a YouTuber, Brian, I don't know whether or not YouTube puts it into your microphone, completely changes the words, and then sends it out to the viewers. Like,
it does completely.
Who was bigging them up? I just said I think they're gonna be a lot better than last year because they've got a proper coach. And listen, I don't understand when people do these things, but hey, it is what it is. We don't know. Apparently so. Apparently he is. I did see a comment that I disagreed with. I thought I'd bring up. You know me. Leighton said Kane will be a massive miss. This myth that he won't be a miss under Ange football is complete BS. Listen, I think the thing is, listen, Kane will be a miss to anyone. But I think the point is, and like what Sean was saying the other day is, if you are going to evolve without Harry Kane, this is the best system to do it in. You couldn't do it in the Conte formation where everything went through Harry Kane. I think that's the point people are making, Leighton. When you have a formation that everything goes through this centralized guy, you can't do it. The formation we've got at the moment doesn't rely on Harry Kane. It relies on Basuma, Maddison, Sarr, whoever the midfield is pushing up, supporting the forwards. It relies on the free forwards moving about. It doesn't rely on one player. Would you agree with that? I mean, I'm not saying Kane's going to be a miss, but, you know.
Harry Kane will be a miss. Listen, what I would say of Harry Kane is he's so good he can adapt to any system. But when we're looking at it, like you said, the style of football, we couldn't do this with Conte or Jose. We would have been dead and buried. He can play any formation. He can play any system. He's that goddamn good. He'll adapt. But like you said, this is a system that won't totally depend on him.
Yeah.
Of course, you depend on him for the goals, but like we're trying to get across in this system, we have other options or whatever. Whereas before, if Kane was removed, it would have been, oh, good God, what do we do? And again, who knows? We're soon going to find out, aren't we? By the looks of it.
Yeah. Listen, look, by the way, I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, Harry Kane won't be missed in any way, shape or form. But I just think football clubs evolve. And what I would say, Brian, is how many of the big clubs that have done really well in the last 10, 20, 30 years have kept a player for longer than 10 seasons? Like, at some point, we've got to evolve. And if that is at the point where Harry Kane is saying, I don't want to sign a contract, then I'm cool with it. I've made peace with it a long time ago, Brian. I've seen players come and go. So have you. Yep. We didn't go into administration. We survived.
Yeah, you know what you do say. So I mean, obviously with Gaza, who you and I wax lyrical about, that was at a time with that. But when you're looking at this in the way football is right now, I don't think we've been obviously Greavesy and players like that. But you look at it right now in our recent history, we haven't had a player this elite and this important and special in his story and everything.
Agreed.
This is why, and you've got to remember, in all those players as well, there was no social media. Bale, okay.
Sure.
But obviously the development of social media and how social media is in today's world, this is the biggest of the big. This is the biggest of the big.
Yeah, listen. I get it. I agree with it. Look, I always use the Berbatov example. You know, at that time, Berbatov was our shining light. Look, once Berbatov left, the club didn't. Nothing bad happened. Yeah, we had a bad 8 games. We had a bad 8 games where we were bottom of the league, 2 points. But from then on, the next 4 or 5 years for the club was very good. Getting Champions League for the first time, getting fourth again, getting to semi-finals and finals. I think it's one of those things that in the moment, I think it always will seem a lot worse than what it actually is. My bigger concern this window than Harry Kane, I know a lot of people might not agree, has always been about fixing that back four. Honestly, if that was the trade, if it was Kane going, fixing the back four and putting a good DM in front of them, I'd be all over it. I really, really would at this stage. I just want to see us as a team, Brian. I want to see a cohesive team that I enjoy watching.
I think. Do you know what? I think we're all there. We are all completely there. We've got to the point where we're starting to see the players look happier than they have done. We're starting to see attacking football that we've been crying for, and begging and pleading for, and things are moving all in the right way. And I'm with you. If someone said to me right now, Harry Kane leaves, Bantap, Sober, and Van der Ven come in.
Yeah. And a DM. And a DM.
All right, let's chuck a DM as well. We do need that. But if that was what we had to do, do you reckon Coutinho? And it's so easy to keep using the Liverpool one. It's the most easiest one to refer to.
Yeah. It's a reference point.
Yeah, exactly. All Liverpool fans, I think, would have said if they had said, right, we're going to get rid of Coutinho, but we're bringing those two in that they did. I think every Liverpool fan says, "Yep, do it. Let's go. Let's make the club better." And that's where we are right now. So if these players were to come in, like if we could see into the future, and Van der Ven came in, Tapsoba and a DM, whoever we're talking about came in, I think a lot of people would say, yes, go do it. I think, but we know that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Back to reality.
I didn't mean to bring up that comment. I did, and I have just blocked that person. Apologies if anyone was offended by that comment. I'm not going to reread what it is, though. And Ben, the annoying thing is Ben messaged me specifically and said, do not bring up this comment. And I was just flicking through, not looking. And I was like, oh, no. Like, Ben's going to tell me off on my own channel. Guys and girls, just remember, if we did want to, in the next half hour, do a double giveaway, we are 88 subscribers away. I don't think it's going to happen today, but keep smashing the subscribe button anyway. And I can't believe we will nearly have gone from 7K to 8K in 18 days. So
incredible stuff. Well done, bro.
No, cheers, mate. It's moving pretty quickly. Look, lots of questions coming in now about centre-backs. Apologies if I don't get to them all. Stuart Powers said, can Ange adapt his system to fit the players we have? Doesn't this go back to Brian with the fact is that I think some players will naturally adapt. They've got that capability. I think his system suits Basuma, for example. I think Basuma will be the big beneficiary.
For sure.
I think some players will. I think it's Papa Sarr. But I think, let's be fair, when you bring in a new manager with a new ideology and philosophy, that's where it comes down to getting the incomings right. So for me, it's not about can Ange adapt his system to fit the players we have. We have to buy players to fit the manager's system. We have said, this is the manager we want to go forward with. We're going to build with you. It's got to be players coming in, right?
Yeah, well, do you know what? I'm going to use a quote that Harry Redknapp said once and kind of adapt it to this. When we're saying, do we have the players that can fit into this system? When we were in our pomp with Harry Redknapp, he was asked in an interview, I think it was on Sky Sports, listen, you've got such a big squad, blah, 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 blah. How do you keep all these players happy? And he just turned around and said, you know what? You've asked me the wrong question. It's not about how do I keep them happy. It's how do they keep me happy? If they want to do well, if they want to flourish, it ain't about me going, oh, you make me happy. It's you've got to prove, you've got to make me happy to say, there you go. And it's kind of like that, whether we have the players in the system or not. And I completely agree with you that Basuma is going to be the one that really is going to be the wow factor. Like, he must have been going, thank you for bringing him in. I think we've got players. Are they capable of doing it? Well, we've seen some, like I said, Van der Sar. I was bringing the guy, Papa Massasar. We're going to see. But again, like you said, when a new manager comes in, especially when you go down a brand new philosophy and a brand new way of football, you have to bring in players. When we've had such a defensive team, you've got to, and we know that's not happening at the moment, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, just quickly, a story that kind of links to Harry Kane. Fabrizio Romano has said this about Sadio Mane, which again gives them 35-40 million more euros to chuck in the pot. Said more on Mane. Sadio Mane's agent from Roof Agency is in Japan to negotiate with Al Nassr. Bayern and Mane are also in Tokyo, not far now. Talks advancing while parties discuss key details. It finally looks like the deal's really possible.
Can I just say one thing on that? Isn't it amazing? This just goes to show something. Bayern Munich working on Harry Kane and Sadio Mane. Some of Bayern Munich's delegates are in Japan, apparently, that Fabrizio's just said. And some are or are not in England. Tottenham Hotspur, we're in Australia. We can't get deals done. Yeah. Big club.
I know. It's how clubs operate. Van Derfer said, Kessie is close to Tottenham. The player wants to play in the Premier League and Tottenham are ready to pay 15 million, which is required by Barca. The Italian media, listen, I'd take Kessie. I'd stick Kessie in front of the back four. I don't know how much credit I give to this report, though. But listen, we can talk about players all day long. Will we get anything done?
Don't know, but it's a Spanish player in the English Premier League. We're talking about in Tottenham Hotspur, and it's Italian journalists reporting it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, by the way, DJ Greenler, when I say nothing bad happened, what I mean is, look, football fans need to see past the end of their nose, right? And I know because I've got a massive one, right? So I can see quite far out. Look, my point with this is when Berbatov and Keane went, we've always got to remember Berbatov and Keane went in that same window. We broke up a brilliant partnership and replaced it with like Fraser Campbell or whatever. My point is that, yeah, for the immediate 8 games after that, nothing worked. But then when Harry came in, who's a bit like a Postecoglou character, He galvanised the team, got some sensible signings about breaking the bank, the likes of Wilson Palacios from Wigan, the likes of Vedran Chorluka, Jermaine Defoe. None of these were superstars. He went and got them. Shift Bale to the left wing, shift Modric to the middle. And then everyone wanted to watch Tottenham Hotspur play under Harry Redknapp. So my point is this. When you lose a player, you're going to have some immediate impact. So when Harry Kane goes, the first 3 games afterwards don't go, oh, there we go, we lost Kane. Get a bit of time to evolve and everyone to adapt. And no one wants to give any time in football now, Brian, do they? Everything's going to have to be absolutely immediate. Like, even like with Lo Celso, like, I think Lo Celso's had 2 good 45 minutes, but it's amazing how everybody's mindset on Lo Celso has shifted in the space of 2 weeks because of 2 45-minute cameos against really bad teams. It's now, you know.
Yeah. I will say with Lo Celso, for me, I'm prepared for him to stay and prove himself till January because I think he's warranted that. Because and one of the main reasons I say this is because I know what will happen. We'll if we do get rid of him, Spurs will come out and say, right, we need a midfielder to replace Lo Celso now, as opposed to we need the centre-backs. So I don't want any interest anywhere apart from centre-backs. I don't care who we link with, how good they are. As I said earlier, unless that's sorted, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I think, I agree with you. I think unless an absolute bargain comes up and you think, God, we must get that player. It's got to be some centre halves, hasn't it? It's got to be. Just quickly, we have got another 25 minutes we're going to go for. So please smash that like button. Please subscribe. We're on 7,913. Let's see if we can get to 7,930 at least. So another 17 subscribers by the end of the show. There's 597 of you in here. I'm sure we can get 17 people to go and smash that subscribe button. And we're only 15 likes away from 400. Big up to George, who has become a YouTube channel member. As I said, George, we're going to be doing the YouTube channel member only shows next week. So it's a little bit more intimate. More chance people to come on and have their say without trolls in the chat, basically. So big up to you, George. Thank you very much. Leighton Evelyn, big up to you, has said, Savva, I hear fans saying top 4 and a trophy. It's madness. Look, do you know what I've said? I have said this. The only way I see Tottenham getting top 4 is this. Now, there's a lot of ifs in here, right? If FC, okay? If Spurs get 2 very good centre-backs to come in, if Spurs get a very good number 6 to come in, and if Spurs get another forward that chips in with 10, 15 goals, if you get all of that, that's 4 players coming in, by the way. I reckon what I've just named there is probably about 120, 130 million pounds. So it's not happening. I think if that all happens, and if, sorry for all the ifs, Brian, and if everyone stays fit throughout the season, playing 1 game a week, I think we could have a really good season and possibly get top 4. However, without those 4 players I named, I think we are closer to 8th to 12th.
Yeah.
Now, that's the difference. The 2 defend. I keep saying it. Apologies if people are getting bored. It's like the tripod of my camera, right? It's like the tripod. I'm going to hold this up. It's like, here we go. I don't know what I'm doing here. But if you've got these 2 here are the centre halves, right? And this is your DM sitting in front of them. This triangle here is pivotal. Absolutely pivotal to everything Tottenham Hotspur want to do. Get that sorted. So I thought my mic was a bit more sturdy than what it just proved to be in the air. My mic is about as good in the air as Davinson Sanchez. We just worked out. Do you see what I'm saying, Brian? By the way, I'm not saying fourth. I think we've got a long way to go.
I have to say that was a brilliant graphic you brought on there to explain the situation. That was just that was brilliant.
Well done, the mic, everyone. Well done, the mic.
That was like Monday Night Football with Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville using the screen. That was in depth. It is extremely pivotal. I think, to tell you the truth, I think even with those 3 top 4 is not going to happen. And it's not because of how good Ange could do. I think it's about how big the other teams are going to be coming back. That's the only. We're in a Premier League season.
Yeah.
Where if we had done that with Conte, or we had Ange in last season and done that, there would have been a huge chance. But this season, I think even talking about top 4, apart from maybe a late surge, if everything clicks, is just I'm not even putting those expectations on there for myself. But I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. You could. Everyone has their opinions to say. If we do that, that could happen. I just think the Premier League this season is going to be the toughest Premier League season we've ever seen, with so many people competing.
I agree. Listen, but by the way, I mean, how many ifs did I put into my?
Oh yeah.
Into my. Do you know what I mean? I don't think this is by one player and you get top four.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I hate this whole notion of top four being the be all and end all, but I just feel like, I mean, Man City are Man City. Can we agree? I mean, Man City for me are winning the league. I don't care what anyone says. I think they're the best team, the best manager, the best players. I think they're winning the league. Then I think the next three is going to be in some way, shape, or form. I think it's going to be Man U, Arsenal, Liverpool. Not in that order. I just think those three will have too much. I think that the big clubs, I think Man U will keep buying. Arsenal have got some good players and buying some depth. Liverpool have bought a brand new midfield. Then you've got the likes where we should be in, which I think will be the Newcastles, the Chelseas, the Villas, the Brightons. That's where I think at the moment, I think we're behind those clubs. Right? I think we're behind those clubs. So I've named the top four plus Brighton, Villa, Newcastle, Chelsea. So that's another four. That's where at the moment I've got us pegged in that 8th to 12th place because we can't defend.
Yeah, so, Joey, you got to look at this as well, Savva. And I'm only saying this because if Brighton do, or when whatever sell Casado for whatever amount Chelsea give them, you just know and have complete, total, utter faith and confidence that they're going to replace him with another one. And invest that money wisely and have loads of money in the bank because they've got a track record now for doing it. We've seen. So I think losing Basuma and what's the guy that went to Chelsea? The big-haired guy. Why have I forgotten his name? The left back that went. Yep, him. It's like you would have thought, oh my God, they've lost two huge players. How are they going to deal with this? And without sounding stupid, they sold the guy to Everton, their striker that hardly ever scored. And
look at the last few years, right? They have lost. If you go from the bottom of the pitch, right? They have lost Dan Burn, right? Ben White, Cucurella,
yep,
Basuma, Alexis McAllister, Caicedo ? Neil Maupay.
That's the guy.
Right? These guys, time and time... Trossard. I think we've named nearly an 11. And Brighton keep getting stronger and stronger. Now, listen, I think there's a shelf life to how long you can do that. And at some time, you've got to grow. But how good is their scouting for this? They bought on a bloke the other night. I've watched him twice now in 2 preseason games. He was on loan at their feeder club in Belgium. Is it Union St. Gilloise? A guy called Dingera, young winger. And both games he's come on and I've gone, oh, you can play. Like, wow, where did they get you from? Quick, skillful. You know, I was like, but what they did, they bought him, sent him out on loan to Union St. Gilloise, gave him a year there, brought him back. Now he's in pre-season tearing things up. And you think to yourself, how difficult has it been for Levy and Enoch in the 23 years they've been at this club to implement that? Yep. How difficult can this be? Like, when was the last time we did that of a player? They did it with Moises Caicedo. They bought Moises Caicedo for 4 million, I believe. He was on loan somewhere, comes back in the Brighton reserves, comes into the Brighton first team last year, is now looking at 80 to 100 million pounds. When did we last do that with anyone?
I think you've got to go back and listen, and he was already established, was probably Gareth Bale.
Right.
We bought in young, was established. And I can see Floyd Jarrett just saying that we're giving too much respect to these teams. This is the thing you can talk about. This is talking about football. This is talking about football and how well this is what as a Premier League, what the Premier League has become right now.
I'll put it in the chat. Sorry, Blissy, I'll put it in the chat.
I love how you whispered it there. That's very, very good. You went in.
I was just talking to Blissy and no one else.
But this is where we are. This again with this. We were living in a day and age. I don't know if it's happening in other teams on their YouTube channels or platforms where you can't talk. If you talk about another team, you're giving them too much. You can talk about other teams. You don't.
Yeah.
Listen, we all say Arsenal's our rivals. Arsenal are crap, but we hate Arsenal. Blah blah blah. Well, they're not crap right now. It's clear you can talk about other teams.
I know.
Nothing will change mine and Savva's love for Tottenham.
I
Apart
don't know.
from Tottenham.
Levy's testing my
Yeah, I was about to
patience.
say, apart from Tottenham. Apart from Tottenham. But this is the thing: you can talk about other teams and what they're doing well. You can't just talk about things when things are bad. I mean, obviously we were doing it right now with Tottenham because things are bad. Things are very, very bad.
What I don't get about this, right, is we see how bad our club is run, and we'll back it to the hilt. Spurs. I mean, when I say we, a section of fan base will back it to the hilt. When you watch clubs that are brilliantly run or have done brilliantly, and all in context, bearing in mind where Brighton have come from, all in context, right? People digging out Chelsea, the most successful football club of the last 2 decades in England. People saying we praise Brighton too much. When you look at these clubs in context, to the revenue that we make, to the stadium that we've got, to the players we could have built around, like Kane and Son and Toby and Jan, right? Why are we giving these clubs too much credit? Like, I don't get this. Do you know what I'd love, no offense, Floyd, I'd love someone like Floyd to come onto the show and explain why we're giving credit to teams that keep doing well. Why are we giving credit to them? Like, why shouldn't we give credit to them? Credit where it's due. For example, can you imagine if Spurs this summer, this window, this season coming, did what Arsenal did in the last year, which was going from 5th to a title challenge in one window, and then spending £100 million on players like Declan Rice? Our fans would be waxing lyrical. Oh my God, we're the best. Look what we've done. But then when you say, well, Arsenal have done well, people go, oh, don't give them credit for that. It's like, well, why not? If it happened to us, we would be waxing lyrical about it. And listen, you know me, Brian, I'm not a biased fan. It gets me in trouble, but I'm not a biased fan. I think when I go to the pub tonight, I know whoever I meet, whatever, if they talk, naturally it talks about football. Someone will go, Spurs, you, this, that. They'll soon find out that I'm not one that just blindly says, oh, we're great. They'll soon find out that I'm not a deluded fan. But I don't know what that means when people say that. Sorry, I really don't know. See, no, this isn't true. We don't just need 2 centre-backs, Floyd. We need 2 centre-backs just to steady ourselves. I feel like we get carried away. We really do.
You know what as well, Savva, what you got to remember is we are content creators and we put ourselves out there. And if we just go on and say everything else is crap apart from what's going on at Tottenham, when we're talking about Tottenham, what kind of clout or do we hold like our opinions? And because we put ourselves out there, it's good having it in the chat and people and everything. But when you put yourself out there and as vocal on social media as I am as well, you want to say that, you know what, Brian knows football, Brian understands football, Brian, whatever you want to say. But if I keep going, oh, Brighton, they're doing shit, they're just getting lucky. Newcastle, oh yeah, it's just because of the money. Then it's like, Brian, you're deluded. What are you talking about? Why can you only talk? So you've got to look at it and say how you see it. And right now, these other teams that are around us are operating in every single department, apart from commercially, better than Tottenham Hotspur.
Mm-hmm. Everything.
Factually.
On the pitch, scouting, philosophy, fan bases are more aligned.
Contracts.
The whole thing, mate. The whole thing. No, listen, I completely agree with you. By the way, people, we're going to go for another 10 minutes. Please keep liking. Where are we at? 407 likes. Let's not stop the likes. And the subscribers, let's at least get to 7,925. Come on, people. 7,915. Let's at least get to 7,925. Don't be tight with the likes, people. Let's see. Nana Hotspur has come with a super chat and said, the problem is if Enoch are a mockery, Enoch out. Completely agree with you. You won't see us arguing that point. And Leighton Evans has come back in and said, it's just sad that Levy won't spend. He don't care. Yeah. Do you know what it is, Leighton? I think for me, the worry has been that even when we do spend, we spend with such little regard for thought or planning. It's all reactionary. I mean, Brian, I'll let you take this. I mean, it is reactionary, isn't it? When we spend, we don't. It's not like here's our 3 targets for the summer, bish bash bosh. It's what chance becomes available.
Yeah, like people say, and we've heard it. If Madison and Leicester are still in the Premier League, we don't pay 70 million for Leicester. Factually, we just wouldn't do it. You're looking at we've all known that it is negligence. Like I heard you mention it yesterday, and I keep mentioning it because I loved this tweet so much, which Simeon put out last night on We Are Tottenham TV, or yesterday afternoon. We all talk about the lack of centre-backs. We all talk about the lack of planning. We all talk about how desperately we need it. And we all know it. But when Simeon put that tweet out showing the centre-backs we brought in recent history over a time span, and you saw it was just Sanchez, Rodon, Romero, Longley, it just shows there was no smokes and mirrors. There was no like me hashtagging Levy out, or there's no comedic value, or no shouting and screaming. It was just, here you go. Yeah. This is the fact. This is where we are.
Yeah.
There is no planning. You would have thought in January that after the window and the Porro deal got over the line, right, let's focus on January and what we need.
Yeah, Garage Classics says, Savva, why do you feel the need to caveat everything with a statement, I'm not a biased fan? Well, Garage Classics, our good old friend, Garage Classics, I caveat everything with a statement, I'm not a biased fan, because I don't want to be seen as a biased fan. I mean, it's pretty evident, right? Why do you, I'll throw a question back at you. Tell you what, pretend this is a super chat. I'll chuck a $5 into my own account. Why do you feel the need, Garage Classics, to come on to every stream, be a dick, right? Then when you're blocked or you annoy people, you then send me emails going, oh, I'm so sorry, I just want to join in, please unblock me. Why don't you learn? Like you can't join in the football. You have to dig. And for anyone who's sitting there thinking, this is a harmless question, Savva, this guy does this every stream, like constantly with these sort of comments. Talk football. Everyone else in the chat is talking football apart from you. Just talk football. Where are we? Phil P. So we're going to go for another 5 minutes. Phil P didn't say that. I said that. Phil P might have said that. I said, Savva, you rightly, in my opinion, criticise Spurs. You are vocally Enoch out, but don't believe the protest will force Levy and Smoking Joe's trust to go. Would you ever come to a protest, maybe do a video? Look, I would, yes, I would go to a protest. Look, it's difficult. I've got the guy that runs the protests on my show right now. But one of the guys, Brian and I have had this conversation many times. Look, I genuinely just think that it's such a behemoth now that I don't think they're going to go because the Spurs fans, because the football side of it moan. I genuinely think, and listen, I'm not making, as Brian, I'm not just blowing smoke.
No, we've discussed this, Savva. You still your boots.
I genuinely think you guys, you, Stel, all the people that, you know, Phil P, go for it, crack on. I get it. In my opinion, though, I just think it's so much of a behemoth that it's not football. And what I mean by this is, I think when Newcastle fans protested against Mike Ashley, it was purely a football club. It was just a normal football stadium with a football club with nothing else attached to it. When I look at Tottenham now, I look at it and go, Tottenham is in different buckets. Yeah, different lanes, if you will. This bucket is football. This bucket is boxing. This bucket is NFL. This is concerts. This is the go-kart track. This is the golf. And for that reason, I just don't know whether the football fans being unhappy is enough to make them go. But fair play to anyone that does. And I will go this year and join in one. I will. I've got nothing against it. I just worry that it won't have an effectiveness. But to be fair, let me hand over to Brian, because Brian believes in it. And I great on him. Brian, plug it. Do what you got to do, mate.
So no, all I will say with this is there's a few things. I'll be very quick with it. First of all, I don't know if you saw the comment I put on Henry Wright's show, and I made sure I did it in capital letters so it stood out, but I don't know because I was busy. I've had a lot of people, and you see a lot of people right now talking about the Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust. And what are they going to do? I even tweeted them. I said, and I even politely, I was like, do you know what? Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust. You came out in January, and well done for doing it, to ask about the direction of the club and where we're going as a club. And you did well, and we thank you for doing that. I said, well, fast forward to today's date. Again, what is the direction of the club and the Lewis stuff? Please find your voices. Because, and then someone was in Henry's chat was asking about the trust and if they'll attend protests or promote protests. Well, I'll tell you about the Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust, and this I can confirm because I was there. When Newcastle were going through their takeover and everything was going on, the Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust protested next to us, but they were protesting for Newcastle not to be sold rather than what we were protesting for. Now, one of the things we are looking at right now, and I said this on Tottenham on Tour, because I'm starting to get bombarded with messages about protesting, and Billy Carnes is as well. We're looking. We want to protest as soon as possible, but obviously we don't want to. We've got to be careful how we do it this year, because I don't want to protest right now, or we don't want to, about transfers and lack of transfers whilst you have a transfer window open. Last time we did that, we did it in not this January, the January before, and we protested for days, and then on the last day, Kulusevski and Bentancur came. So what we're looking at right now, protest-wise, and again, this is not gospel. We are now talking about things. We are looking at tackling this at the Manchester United game, but we all know what we're protesting against and the bigger picture. But to try and get more people involved, because again, it comes down to people coming. We want to protest about match day tickets and the prices, genuine things that affect this football club and its fan base. No matter where you stand, whether you're Levy out or you're not, everyone is absolutely appalled by the ticket price. If we start protesting about the ticket prices, that may generate more people coming. But we all know the mothership is, or the bigger picture is the main thing. But we got to attack this and get people that will feel that, yeah, this is something I'm against and I want to protest. There's people asking us to go to the training ground. Should Harry Kane, the deal be accepted and things start moving? Well, if we do that, again, we need numbers. So it's all good. I've said people retweeting and doing everything that they do is fantastic. But we've got to the point now where 200 people ain't enough. It never has been enough. It never will be enough. We need the big numbers. And hopefully, with certain things, bigger numbers will come. But I will say, in the words of Spurs, we're creeping towards protesters. We're flirting with protesting. We're monitoring the situation about protesting. So keep an eye on Tottenham on Tour. Savva will always talk about it and promote about it. I will always be tweeting it.
Listen, I'll always put it out there. I'll always push it.
Of course
I've got nothing against it. Just as someone that won't pay Daniel Levy anymore, for me to go all the way over to Spurs for something that I don't think will affect it, it's a bit of a kind of debate I'm having in my own head about, is it worth my time? But listen, we'll talk further about this offline, Brian. By the way, we are gonna finish now. Perchy is going live. By the way, big up Mr. Henry Wright TV in the chat.
Big up, Henry.
Big up, Henry. You know, when the big YouTubers are saying nice things about you, you know it's nice. Henry Wright has just smashed the 14K barrier. So get Savva to 8K ASAP. Thank you very much. I will ask very nicely, if everybody who hasn't subscribed could right now just go over and subscribe, that would be amazing. From the bottom of my heart, it would mean the world. I am trying to make this a full-time job in the next year or so. So please do that. Thank you, Henry, for that. Phil P said, big up Savva, first beer post-protest is on me. Don't you owe me like a Nando's, 2 Nando's and a beer now? So you owe me loads. Phil P is the Daniel Levy of Nando goers. Just saying, if that's how he wants to be known. I'm only joking. He doesn't owe me anything, by the way. He doesn't owe me anything. Nana Hotspur said, how many people in this room would protest? How many of you would protest? Leighton Evans has said there is no point protesting because in a city of 9 million, our club will just be filled up with tourists, and Levy knowing it got us by the balls. Look, absolutely room for a debate another time, Brian. I'm sure we'll do
Yeah,
more of these
sure.
next week where we can bring that up in a bit more detail.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone that has everybody that has put in a super chat and everyone that has liked, everyone that's subscribed. As I said, 3 of you just have subscribed. Come on, people. If 20 more of you just go, that'd be amazing. And this one I want to bring up just before I go. In the last 120 seconds, if you support a club, how can you not be biased? Well, DJ Greenlight, I'm going to tell you this, why I can't be biased. Because how can I, as somebody so vocal about hating the owners, as someone so vocal about hating how we're run as a club, then flip that in any argument I have and start being really biased about every player we've got and everything about the club? I can't have it both ways. Those people look silly. I think it's as I've got older, I feel I look really silly if I just debate for the sake of debating how good something is when I don't believe it. Right?
Yeah.
So, for example, when people come on telling me, oh my God, Bentancur's one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, and I say, well, no, I think he's good. I don't think he's anywhere near one of the best. Those people are debating that for the sake of debating it because he's a Spurs player. If he didn't play for Spurs, you wouldn't be saying it. So, yeah, it's easy not to be biased. I don't understand why it wouldn't be. Guys and girls, thank you so much for coming in, everybody. Spitting Facts said, if you want numbers, the tells, no, Stell's not done anything wrong. Stop being an idiot. Spitting Facts, last warning, you'll get blocked.
Yeah, just whilst we're here, I just want to say something very, very quickly. Listen, all I'm going to say on this is if this is what we've got to, that people want to protest because of what is going on in our football club. And you don't want to come because not just that person, but you don't like how I am. Or let's drop that. Because if you're not going to protest because of one person, if you're not wanting to come to impact change on what is going on in our football club that is being ripped apart and destroyed and put in the mud because of one person, and I'm not just saying about that person, it could be me, it could be Billy Carnes, it could be, I'm not going to go through all the names.
Yeah.
But if you're not coming to a protest where you don't even have to come and say hello to me if you don't like me and whoever it is, because of one person, then bigger picture. We keep using this phrase, bigger picture. Let's use it. You don't have to interact with these people. You don't have to. And again, I said, I hold myself included. There's a lot of people that hate me. Fair play. If that's what you want to do, don't come and speak to me, but come and protest.
Absolutely. Listen, we must go. Just before we do Garage Classics, you do not learn, do you? A lot of Savva supporters, they're not Savva supporters. They like the channel. They don't support me. They don't like stand outside my house with banners and put my name on the back of their shirt. You're an idiot. You keep doing this. And then you say it's boring. Mate, you are getting blocked. And I guarantee I'll get an email from you within the next 15 minutes. It's boring, you being boring. Everybody, much love. Go over. Watch Perchy, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Just leads me to say, Brian Daigle, thank you so much. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you.
My pleasure, mate. And as always, leave me out.